Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and you guys know what time it is. It's time for the Monday Q&As. So let's get it started. First question. If someone is struggling to make their calories on a refeed day, is it okay to use things like cola as it has no fat? Okay, when we're talking about serious refeeds, whether you're doing a hard cut or a recomp where you actually need ultra high calorie refeeds, this is perfectly reasonable. Our concern with these low satiation, low nutritional value, sugary drinks is because the average person doesn't have enough muscle mass, they don't train enough, they're not active enough to benefit from this. They end up with nutritional deficiencies, empty calories, and calorie surpluses if they're not careful that just makes them fat and sick. However, for an athletic person, particularly someone doing a refeed, a structured scheduled refeed to where they need to hit very, very high amount of carbs and a calorie surplus, particularly when you've been cutting for days before at a calorie deficit, and sometimes things like your stomach has shrunk a little bit, sometimes your appetite can be decreased slightly by this. Some people get sick, they get nauseated, they struggle to hit their refeed calories. Now, not everyone has this problem, but some people do. And if you do, and if you need liquid calories, such as cola or just a sugary fruit juice or whatever it takes to reach those numbers, then do what you have to do. And in fact, for some ultra high calorie refeed methods, sometimes you don't have a whole lot of room for whole foods because the fiber and things get too high, and some people are needing to eat anywhere from 6,000 to 10,000 calories on a refeed, depending upon how much muscle you're carrying, what sort of structure you're using for your refeeds and things like that. For some people, it may be simply impossible to get anywhere near that on whole foods with lots of fiber and things in them. So you do what you have to do. So we're just not dealing with the same thing that we're dealing with the sedentary population, the general population. All right, next question. If I was sick for a week and didn't train, does it count as a deload week? No, absolutely not. A deload week means that you are fully recovering. If you are sick, your body is in the process of trying to make you well. It's putting its efforts in your recovery ability towards that, not towards building new muscle tissue or making you stronger or making positive training adaptations. Furthermore, because you took a week off, that's not a true deload. A deload needs to have training stimulus in it with a reduced workload and a reduced intensity so that you continue to re-stimulate or re-attenuate the training stimulus from the previous overreaching, so that you reinforce that training stimulus, you maintain the motor patterns, you maintain performance while adapting to that previous heavy workload. So because one, your body's efforts were put towards a different recovery than your training stimulus recovery, and two, you didn't give fresh training stimulus to reinforce the previous overreaching and to make better adaptations, you're not going to get the same effect as a deload. In fact, you may come back weaker. You may have lost a little bit of muscle and performance. So it's not going to work like a deload at all. Very much not. All right, next question. Does a huge caloric surplus make that much of a difference than a small, moderate calorie surplus for strength gains? Well, much is a relative term. Will eating a very, very massive calorie surplus, like 1,000 or 1,500 versus 300 or 500, make you bigger and stronger? Yes, but it will not be proportionately so. You're going to see a little bit of strength increase from it because all of that food is anabolic. You will gain slightly more muscle, but that triple calorie intake might only give you 5% more muscle. It's going to give you more fuel for training so that you can train harder, stimulate better adaptations. It's going to make you gain weight faster, both water and fat, which in turn is going to give you better leverages to stimulate growth and adaptation faster because it's going to make you stronger as a result of the extra weight gain. But this isn't really a good method unless you're in an open-ended weight class in sport. Your goal is to get as big, as strong as possible, and you don't care if you're 300 or 350 pounds. In which case, that's a viable method, but for anybody who does care about their body composition in the long run, particularly for somebody who doesn't want to have to do a cut in the next six months or year, or people who compete in a weight class of any type, this may not be the most efficient method for you to use. I'm not saying it won't make you stronger, because it will, but it's certainly not going to make you pound for pound stronger. which is what I think a lot of people are looking for. Not everyone is looking to be over 300 pounds and strong. It's simply not the vast majority of people's goals. But if it is, then yeah, this is the way to do it. Alright guys, so that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it has been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time in part 2.